Greetings, folks. You're tuned in with Hajboy Hassan, kickboxing teacher and coach from out the East Bay, California. We're here for a Montu Arts Spotlight, and today's subject is Ron Van Cleef. Shidoshi, term meaning Grandmaster, Ron was born in Brooklyn, New York in January 25th, 1943. He started studying martial arts in 1959 with Jiu-Jitsu Grandmaster Dr. Moses Powell. Then thereafter, by the age of 17, he was training in ninjutsu with Ronald Duncan, Shotokan Karate with George Cofield and Tom LaPuppet, and Goju Ryu Karate with Peter Urban. All of his instructors were former members of the military, of the U.S. military specifically. He also learned from Wing Sun founder Lung Ting in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu under Joe Moreira. Subsequently, he trained alongside Bruce Lee in Hong Kong, who himself named him the Black Dragon. I must note that our elder has survived and endured quite a bit of hardship in his early life, ranging from a toxic upbringing which endured an abusive father, whom was a World War II vet, while also losing his mother to a drug overdose, as well as losing his younger brother Pete during a tour in Vietnam. In 1960, Shidoshi Ron Van Cleef signed up to the U.S. Marine Corps. Because his father did not approve, his mother had to sign the papers without his father's knowledge prior to her passing. He was racially and physically abused by the sergeants in charge and his fellow Marines. While in Kinston, North Carolina, he was attacked and lynched by members of the Ku Klux Klan. He spent 5 months in the hospital, cites this incident as the reason for his continuing battle with post-traumatic stress disorder. Furthermore, he lost his younger brother Pete, whom was an airborne paratrooper who had spent 3 months in Vietnam before being killed in 1966 at the age of 22 after running over a landmine. Going back to 1963, Shidoshi Ron was sent to Okinawa, where he learned Chinese karate, followed by a year in the Philippines, where he learned the Filipino fighting arts before being transferred to Vietnam in 1964. After leaving the military, he worked as a New York Transit police officer until 1968. By 1971, he had created his own style called Chinese Goju, a combination of Japanese and Chinese fighting arts. Shidoshi Ron opened schools across New York City, and alongside private lessons, he would train up to 300 people a week, spreading the word of Chinese Goju. Through one of his students, Danny Guy, the son of the vice president of Ghana, Ron and his son, Ron Jr., aka Shihan, would relocate to Ghana, where he worked for the military in Ghana and the Ivory Coast. He trained soldiers, police, government troops under the Akufo regime and was eventually marched out of the country with his son after a military coup. Chinese Goju techniques are distinctive with great effectiveness. Many of the blocks and strikes are performed with exposed palms, fast and strong application with a powerful snap. The movements are executed strategically in and out of circular side patterns, in contrast to traditional karate of hardstyle, where the movements are straightforward and back. In 1994, at the age of 51, Shidoshi Ron Van Cleef became the oldest competitor to take part in the UFC, losing to Royce Gracie, who was age 27, in the UFC number 4 event. He officially retired from competitive fighting afterwards, becoming a commissioner for the UFC, only to return to compete and to win in the 2002 All-American Karate Championship at the age of 60. According to Shidoshi Ron, the basics of Goju, Chinese Goju specifically, are a reconstruction of philosophy in the martial arts ideology. His students are to understand the full range of their human potential. With the implementation of Chinese Goju philosophy, each student understands Goju ideology, hard and soft in concept and technique. Through the introspective perception developed within the martial arts criteria, Chinese Goju teaches its students that change is constant. Chinese Goju teaches fluidity, flexibility of the mind, and body for the human development. Of his noteworthy students, there's Timac Gariello, whom we know as Bruce Leroy of the classic gym, The Last Dragon, which Shidoshi Ran did help on the fight choreography. His filmography as an actor began with 1974, The Black Dragon, 1975, Bamboo Trap, The Black Dragon's Revenge, then followed by a few more films that could be looked up. In the late 1970s, Shidoshi Ran wrote The Manual of the Martial Arts, which would go on to become a New York Times bestseller and used by the U.S. Secret Service as a self-defense training manual. There's also his biography titled The Hanged Man, in reference to him being a lynching survivor. He also brought us the book Black Heroes of the Martial Arts, which is definitely a book that's a vital part of my book collection. These days, he resides with his wife and his progeny in Honolulu, Hawaii. That's our topic for this time. Until the next time. Signing off, peace and salams of prosperity. Peace, be easy.